Hi, I'm Emily of Katie Bug Creations. Welcome back. It has been a while. I did not intend to go 6 weeks between Flosstube videos, and yet here we are. You ever have one of those times where you have this stretch of time where thing after thing after thing after thing after thing just keeps happening? You know, and it wasn't even like all bad or anything. It was just constant. And each one, maybe you could, but when it's all one right after another, it just gets, I won't get into everything because that would take all of my video. But important thing, thank you for everybody who commented on Sam and his mishap. He is doing fine. So thank you for all the prayers and good wishes. He's doing great. He's bopping around, doing fantastic. Because, you know, he's a 3-year-old. They just bounce. So, the last 6 weeks, I have stitched so much. This is in part because I've hurt my foot. It turns out I have a bone spur in my Achilles tendon, so I'm having to stay off my feet, which I guess that means stitching time. So I have so much stuff to show you, but the first thing I'm going to get started with is haul. But I'm going to start with haul because I used some of my haul to do projects and finish them already, so you need to see the haul. The first thing I got were silks from Ymir, and I know I talked about this before, but I got them. So they're gorgeous, they're incredibly affordable, and they're a dream to stitch with. So the first 2 colors that I got were, ooh, that's way too purple. That's about right. This is wine, and this is sangria. So they obviously go together. And all of Ymir's silks are designed to go with at least 2 other colors in her collection. So this is wine, this is sangria, and then sangria also goes with Raven and Ice Queen, I think. So these turned out lovely. Then I also got Clouds, Cotton Candy, which Katie adored because it looks like a rainbow. And this one, which is my favorite, Moss Boss. Just all these different shades of green. It's just gorgeous. So, what did I do with these? Well, my haul also included a couple of patterns. In one case, a piece of linen. So this piece of linen, okay, is 40 count Newcastle linen by Picture This Plus in the colorway Pewter. Now this is the first time I have worked with linen this small. I will continue working with linen this small. This is wonderful. But I decided that I've been wanting to do this pattern for a while, so I did. So we have Michelle Bendy's Drama Llama sampler. No time for drama. This patriarchy won't dismantle itself. I love this pattern. It's so much fun. It was so much fun to stitch, especially the llamas. I love the llamas, especially the one that I did in the sangria, the variegated here. It is just amazing. So this is going to go in my office whenever I get back to campus. I just love it so much. It makes me so happy. So thank you to Michelle and Ymir for putting that out there for the world, because this is just delighted me no end. Okay, so then I also used Ymir silks to do some Easter eggs. So, woohoo, there we go. These are Historische Stickmuster, and forgive my German, put out 2 Easter egg freebies, so this pattern and this pattern. So I took those and I did 3 of them together, and I used the Clouds, Moss Boss, and Cotton Candy silk flosses for this. And I thought that just turned out so cute. So I did that, and I also used DMC Ecru as the background for the eggs. And I thought that was just too cute. And it really shows off some of the variegation. You know, I don't know how well you can see that here. The ring light's kind of... Also, Bergie's on the bed and he's purring and he's shaking the camera, so I apologize. But there you go. I love that. So, now, March meant, of course, the Steel City Stitchers were putting on March Madness. I was using the March Matchup hashtag instead. And I started out with all of these great plans. I was gonna have 4 new starts. No. I got about 3 days into it and went, nope, I'm not doing this. Stitch what you want when you want. But I did start March 1st, a new project. And this came out of an old issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine that I cannot remember what it is. But I know it's by Needle Bling Designs. Let me check. Maybe I have it in my book. I have a little book that I keep all my... No, I don't have it in there. Okay, but it was Needle Bling Designs, and it originally said Lucky, and this was a series of 12 blocks, the word, and then like a design for monthly stuff, and those would have been the March one. So it said Lucky. I just did luck on this. I got this teal green 18 count Aida somewhere. Don't know where it is, don't know where I got it from, but I did, and Bergie quit. It looked very nice. So I did this with 2 strands of B5200. And I thought it turned out pretty nice. Did I get it finished off for St. Patrick's Day? Of course not. I don't fully finish objects. Why would I do that? Anyway, other finish I did, because I finished yet another thing, I have 4 finishes to show, is the the Sense and Sensibility Stitch Along in the Stitching Book Club series by Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts. And it is finished. Isn't that pretty? I mean, I don't know that I see Sense and Sensibility in it necessarily, but it's just a nice, fresh, pretty design. Bergie, I swear, cat, I'm going to knock you off the bed. So, this is with the called for DMC. I did not use the hand-dyed fabric. I just used light blue 28 count even weave and stitched it over too. So I thought that just turned out, pretty. It's just a pretty design. So that came in 3 pieces, and the last book discussion still is going to take place on the Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts Instagram page in another week or so. Okay, so that is what I finished, some of which I started and finished. Bergie! Life with cats. My kids aren't home, which is why I'm doing this now. My kids have gone to school, so, okay. So the other things is I also have new starts. I have new starts out the wazoo. But let's start with the things I'd already started. Ha 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 ha. Okay. So the only thing I'd already started that I've worked on is Carolyn Manning's Moonstone. So I have almost finished the first page. There are a couple of little triangles here that I have not finished because I didn't have the floss. I had to go get it, but you know, it's starting to turn out. I'm still not sure about some of these colors up in here, but it's starting to look right down there. It's a very meditative stitch. It is also kind of difficult because the pattern is not in color, and there's so many color changes. it can be kind of difficult. There's also a mistake in the pattern. Up here in one of these stars, this star up here, one of these triangles is not the right color. So you have to look out for that if you do this one. Okay, so this is Carolyn Manning Moonstone. I did this on 20 count Aida. 20 count? Let's find out. See, I have a little book that I'm keeping notes in on all of my stuff. Moonstone, 20 count white Aida. Yes, so that's what that's on. Now, starts. So you may remember seeing last time, I did this. So this is the hiragana sampler. So this is the Japanese hiragana alphabet. This is by Modern Folk Embroidery. Gosh, I love Jacob, so I don't know why I couldn't come up with Modern Folk Embroidery off the top of my head. Probably because I'm... Anyway, so this is the hiragana, and it's lovely. I did this on 22 count Hardanger with DMC 93, which is the variegated, and 517. Now, two things happened. One, my brother's buying a new house. So, good for him. I think that's awesome. But two, then I realized Jacob had a second one in the katakana alphabet, which I am almost done with. So I think it's turning out pretty. I'm doing it in the same colors, so DMC 93 and 517. And I think it's turning out really pretty. So I only have to finish this little bit down here. So I will probably finish this off today. And if you don't see it in the next video, it'll be because I already mailed it to my brother. But yeah, I think it's turning out really well. And this is gonna go along with hashtag Stitch Asia Bergie. Anyway, this is gonna be hashtag Stitch Asia. So it was the brainchild of Abby Bella Stitch. So to stitch Asian designs, Asian designers, Asian flosses, Asian fabrics. So this obviously Asian inspired design. If you have patterns by Lila Studios or floss or fabric from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers, those all could go under Stitch Asia. So like I said, I should have this finished today, I think. Then what else have I been doing? Okay, so my son loves dinosaurs. Sam loves dinosaurs. And I have done 2 dinosaurs for him already. I've done a Triceratops and I've done a Stegosaurus, and I've done a T-Rex. And I've shown those on previous videos before. I will attempt to put pictures of those in here. But he's ready for the 3rd dinosaur, so I have started his Triceratops. So you can see the outside of his crest, frill, whatever. I hate stitching this so much. When I bought these patterns, I bought the called for materials, which was 18 count Aida. And I wish I had taken a good look at the pattern first, because there are so many half stitches, or quarter stitches, I mean. So many quarter stitches. So I'm having to split the Aida in here a whole bunch of times. And if I'd done it on an even weave, it just would have been so much easier. So should you do these patterns, they're from Geo Creations UK on Etsy, or any geometric patterns, make sure you're doing it over 2. It'll just make your life a whole lot easier. All right, so then I'm gonna do some fairies for my nieces. I've done some fairies for Katie, which I still can't find. I don't know where they are. It's driving me bananas. I know they're here somewhere. But I'm gonna do some fairies for my nieces as well. The first thing I'm doing is making a Teresa Winsler fairies for my nieces. So there's a series of 4 seasonal fairies that I'm doing for one niece, and then a series of 2 larger night and day fairies that I'm going to do for my other niece. So the picture of this was not real good from the pattern, but I will link it below. You can only get Teresa Winsler patterns from Patterns Online now, but I'm doing this on antique white 28 count even weave, again because there are a bunch of 1/4 and 3/4 stitches on here. Now this will also end up getting beaded, and it being a Teresa Winsler pattern means there are lots and lots and lots of blended or tweeted floss colors. So you have a bunch of them that are oh my gosh, my brain, y'all, it is not working. She uses a bunch of the tweeted flosses to make dimension. There you go. Okay, so these will get beaded. The night and day fairies also get Krennic flosses. So then I got a pattern from Needlework Expo. So Needlework Expo happened last month. They were doing an online needlework market since Nashville Needlework Market got canceled this year. And one of the releases was from Lindy Stitches. It's a jackalope. Isn't it adorable? I loved it. When I saw this, she put up on Instagram that she had a jackalope pattern. I'm like, nope, I haven't even seen it, and I'm gonna get it. So here it is. So I've got one leg to go, part of his backpack to go, this border and this border to finish. So I'm doing this on 28 count Carolina linen. This is the last time. I have one project that's halfway done on Carolina linen, and I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing the Carolina linen again. It's terrible. But I did have to convert this. A lot of this was in Weeks Dye Works. I don't use Weeks Dye Works. Some of it was in Dinky Dyes. I just can't get it. I don't have a local needlework shop. So I pulled DMC, and then I had a couple of classic colorworks. So this green here and here is classic colorwork Shamrock, and then this dark pink of the strawberries, and right here is classic colorworks Clay Pot. And then look at my needle minder. Mystery of the 99 Steps. It's one of my very favorite Nancy Drew mysteries when I was growing up. I still have it. It's in Katie's closet for when she gets older. And the one that I had actually belonged to my mother. So when I bought a bunch of needle minders from Mad for Minders, she had a bunch of Nancy Drew themed ones, and I asked her if she would make me 99 Steps. She did. So I was very happy with that. Okay, so then, because I needed a travel project, I guess, because I'm a sucker, I decided that I should start one of the other William Morris birds. Now, I'm not far enough along for it to matter which one I start. So I have already done the Strawberry Thief, so there's the woodpecker and then just the bird. Now, it doesn't matter which one I do because this is as far as I've gotten. Now, I had gotten farther into the border, and then I realized, oh, I've started too far down. So I had to frog it. I had to rip it, and start again. There's another Nancy Drew needle minder, which I love. But I'm gonna have to put that needle minder on a different project, because one thing that I have kitted up but not started is this. So I don't know why, but this pattern has been living rent-free in my head for months. And I loved it, and I loved it, and I loved it. And I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? This is April 2015 issue of Just Cross Stitch. So I just kitted it up. It calls for some Krennic braid to like be stitched in here. But I'm also thinking about taking a Krennic blending filament and using it on that birdie. Using some Krennic blending filament on the inside of the peacock eyes, just to add a little extra. I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't know why this is living in my head, and my husband went, Em, you like colorful birds. He's not wrong. Okay, what else did I do? Here's the other thing I've done. I decided to experiment with dyeing my own fabric. None of this has been ironed. I'm not sorry. Okay, I'm a little sorry, but I'm not really sorry. Also, my mother-in-law taught me how to use my serger. Isn't that great? Okay, so the first set I did coffee dyeing. And yeah, so let me try to order these in. Okay, I'm hoping this shows up. Okay, there you go. You can kind of see it. Said super wrinkled, don't at me. So we have like 5 minutes in. Here's what I did. I brewed a really, really strong pot of coffee. I wet the fabric, put the fabric in the coffee. I let it sit for a different amounts of time. So this was 5 minutes. This was 15. This was an hour. This was 3 hours. Okay. So you can see the difference in color. My brain, oh my gosh. Once it was done, I took it out, I rinsed it in vinegar, I rinsed it in water, and then I hung it up to dry. It has not been ironed. I then did the same thing with tea for the same amount of time, and you cannot tell which ones of the tea were for how long. So, you know, as far as that goes, I am not thrilled with what I got out of it. The coffee, especially this dark coffee one, this really dark coffee one. And again, you're not gonna be able to see it real well with the lights, but it just is too yellow. It's too much of a yellow. The tea I felt like gave me a better kind of brownish, but they're all really, really yellow, and I'm not thrilled with it. I'll find something to do with it, but I'm not really feeling it. I don't have any projects that I'm really thinking about putting it on right now. I'm sure something will come up. It always does. So, now that I've talked at you really, really fast, let me see what else I had to talk about. I'm behind watching Flosstube. I do want to send out a very special thank you to Leanne at Small Town Stitches for giving me a shout out. I appreciate that. I also had some comments on previous videos. One person asked if I'd used ergonomic hooks with my crocheting. I have not. Part of the problem that I have crocheting is not actually the hook hand, it is my other hand, where I would use to tension my yarn. That's what causes the tendonitis, is trying to tension the yarn. And it really can act up pretty badly. I also wanted to just say thank you to Joanne for your very, very sweet comment. You are very, very kind, and I look forward to you showing up in the comment section. So, and I look forward to all my comments. So, you know, feel free to drop me a line, ask me a question in the comment section. I am thrilled to read it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell. Is that the other thing? Ring. I don't remember. I'm bad at YouTube. But you know, I don't care. You know, I was gonna start out the video this way and forgot because, again, brain. I decided every year I try to do a theme. I don't really do New Year's resolutions. I do a theme. And so last year, 2020, my theme was going to be the year of home. I was going to do things to make my home pleasant and a wonderful place to live, and boy, did that come back to bite me in the ass. This year, I decided it was going to be the year of better. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, it just has to be better. So one of the goals was to put myself out there more creatively. And so starting a Flosstube was some of that. And one of the things that, you know, I want to put myself out there that wants to be something I'm better at. But, you know, in the last 6 weeks, I keep going, oh gosh, I haven't done a video. I haven't done a video. But if this turns into work, then it's not fun, right? This needs to be fun. This is a hobby. I'm not, you know, I had given thought even to, well, what if I start designing stuff myself? I don't need to monetize my hobbies. I don't. That's not going to make my life better. This is about making my life better, and having Flosstube or making patterns be work for me is not going to be making my life better. I have a great Flosstube community. I don't need to keep doing these other things. Maybe I'll change my mind. But right now, I'm also mid-pandemic. I'm snowed under with grading. Now's not the time. And I'm okay with that, mostly. But that's okay. Because again, this is about being better, not perfect. Does that make sense to people? I hope so. Anyway, I don't know when my next video will be. I'm not going to stress it because, again, this is supposed to be fun and it's not supposed to be stressful because that doesn't make my life better. Have a great weeks ahead. Keep yourself safe. Get your vaccines. I got mine. And remember to be kind to somebody. That includes yourself. Bye, y'all.